Well, what's going on, you guys? Today in the garage I've got a 2008 Honda Civic, and what I'm actually going to do is the front bumper has the typical paint issue on the front bumper, where the clear coat and all that's come off, where there used to be a front tag on this car that's all, stained up, and it looks like crap. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to repaint this, and I'm probably going to take that little lip off of there because it's all messed up anyways, and it's halfway falling off, and I have to keep reattaching it. And yeah, it looks like this one's got a little bit of curb rash, I would say. I found a shop here locally that can mix any kind of paint you want as long as you have the paint code, and they can put it in a spray can for you. So that's what we're doing. I don't really have the best of sandpaper and sanding material and all that, so it doesn't really have to be that great because the car is just, it's just a regular old car. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything, and I am doing it with a spray can. So but I will need to do some prepping of the plastic. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that little grill off of here. And you got a couple little tabs here. And voila, there it is. So after finagling with that thing for a ridiculous amount of time, because it shouldn't be that ridiculous to take off, I finally got that off, and you can see it's just, it's crap. I'm not putting it back on. Besides, it scrapes the ramps anyways. So really about the only thing to do is just try to kind of clean this up a little bit and just start sanding it down. Well, I don't have very much for sandpaper. These are the scuffing pads. So I've got a 360, I got 400 on the sandpaper and an 800 on the scuffing pad. So honestly, it looks like it's probably going to be the 360 to kind of get all the roughness off of it, and then maybe go back over it with the 800. Then hit it with some primer and, well, do a little taping first and then hit it with some primer. I gotta try to get some of this off of it. Yeah, and then it'll be ready for paint. But paint is actually not going to happen until tomorrow. Even though I know it's going to be in this same video that you're watching, but technically it's going to be tomorrow because it is late at night tonight. I am just getting started on this so I can get ahead of it on the project tomorrow, because I have other projects to do as well. So, well, to save you all the boring parts, so I just went over the entire bumper with the 360 scuff pad. Didn't do too bad. I had to hit some of the rougher spots and some of the rash under here pretty good with probably a 300 or something. I'm not too sure what the sanding block is, but it's quite a bit rougher than the 360, so I'm not sure what it is. I know it's not 120, but I'm not sure. But try to smoothen that out a little bit. But it's not too bad. Yeah, it's still ugly, and it's it's going to be hard to not be able to see that even once it's painted and all that, because I'm not professional, and this is just a rattle can job. But now I'm going to go over it with the 800 scuff pad, and it should smoothen it out a little bit better than that. Alright, so all done with the 800 grit. It's smoothed out pretty decent. It still looks like crap. Like I said, I'm no professional, so it's not really going to look like a professional did this. It's going to look like somebody did this in their garage at home. But that's okay. So went over it with the 800 grit. So really the only thing left to do now is hit it with a tack cloth or whatever it is I need to clean all the dust off of it, and do a little bit of taping, tape off the black part, and it'll be ready for paint. And I'm also working on this as well, because this needed a little bit of fixing and the badge needed a little touch up, so I'm kind of working on that. But that's actually it for tonight. So I will pick it back up tomorrow, and we'll get to painting this bumper. Well, good bright and early morning to you. So I got in the garage a little bit early and started a little more of the prep work on the bumper. I got the whole bumper cleaned off, dusted it off with the air hose, and then went over the whole thing with a microfiber and some alcohol to pull everything off of it. Went ahead and done taped up what needs to be taped up, and it is ready to be painted. I know this is not the best method, but this is what I have to work with. Let me get out of the sun there a little bit. Literally some cardboard, a little bit of sunlight so I can see real good, and plenty of ventilation. So here is basically the end results. Of course, you know, I did not film any of the painting process, and the reason being is because if you'll notice right here, I'm not sure how well this camera can pick that up, but I did not realize just how metallic this paint actually is, and it is super thin. And I only got one can of it mixed. I got enough to have 3 more cans mixed, but I don't have that here with me right now, so 1 can it is. So I stretched it the best I could, and I forgot, you know, I did a little bit of primer on the bottom parts, the bad stuff, you know, everything where it was scraped clear down to the plastic where it was black, so blend that in as best I could. But very difficult to blend it in with such a thin metallic paint, which I don't think this camera is picking it up, but you can kind of see a little bit of primer here still right there for those spots, a little bit there, you know, a little bit through here. I mean, yeah, it's really, the camera is just, I mean, it's not going to pick this up. You're not really going to see, I mean, from what you're seeing here, it looks like perfectly good paint job. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not that great either. But there again, I'm not professional. And also, the other reason why I did not film any of the painting is because now my camera is covered in metallic flakes. Well, it's not covered, but it's got a good bit of metallic flakes on it, and I was fortunate enough that I was able to get it off the lens, so, and the back screen, so yeah, that's terrible. So anyways, let's go throw the bumper back on the car and get the car out in the sun and see if this paint actually matches. Well, there you have it. I cannot say it turned out too bad, actually. After being back on the car, it definitely it looks pretty good. It really don't look bad at all. I do believe a clear coat would have probably been nice. Unfortunately, I did not have any clear coat left. I have a little bit, but I'm not going to try to stretch that enough. So actually not too bad. Could probably, I mean, you can kind of see the difference in clear coat and no clear coat. Let me just see if, but really, I think out in the sun, driving down the road, something like that, I don't think anybody's really going to pay much attention to it. But yeah, it's not too bad. It is not too bad at all. Let's see if you can kind of see it from here. Yeah, see right there, you can't hardly even tell. Except for, you know, you get the glare from the lights, and not as much of a glare here because it's not really any clear coat, but it's not too bad. Let's see if I can get close. See how it'll do. Yeah, there we go. So that's not really too bad. So I guess not too bad for 1 can of spray paint. Well, you know, it is the correct paint code and everything, so it turned out okay. I mean, I'm happy with it for right now. I mean, like I said, I'm not professional. You know, it didn't have to be perfect or anything. I just wanted it to look better than what it did. And I will say I do think it looks better than what it did. Well, that's pretty much it for this video. Until next time, we'll see you guys.